The apartment empty except for a single piece of furniture. Any apartment will do as long as rented low. I'm not particular about it. His 60-year-old cousin inherited a real piece of real estate by a lake. So much for small talk. Let's get down to business. Lucy resented the aggressive salesman trying to make her sign the contract. There one of the factors determining Jack's investing in stocks. Japan imports various raw materials and exports manufactured goods. In the course of its economic development, Japan has abandoned its traditional values. The world will face an unprecedented crisis. In short, the purpose of regulation is to protect the domestic industries. In order to keep up its competitiveness in the world, Japan must undertake sweeping the regulation in earnest. We cannot turn our backs on desperate people who are at risk. The parliament decided to provide developing countries with financial aid. Some say the British monarchy should be abolished. What do you think? They sought shelter from the attack, but now found no place to hide. There is little proof that the two countries make significant progress in disarmament. The negotiations are underway. Before long, they will enter a crucial phase. The slaves are anxious to alter their destinies. The aristocrats abuse their privileges at the heart's content. The revolution in itself bore no fruit, after all. Bob was cut in our conversation saying, I'm against it, but everybody ignored him. We skipped his own turn on purpose. He thought someone being bullied, but he turned a blind eye. When Yakawa cheated on exam when I was suspended from school as for Nick, he got away with it. They are hostile to Richard because they are jealous of his lessened status. I hate him. He behaves as if he was somebody. In spite of our compliment, he frowned, turned away. He was so rude. He claimed that enormous property at his disposal. The more stubborn you are, more isolated you become. Don't beat around the bush. What am I supposed to do? Just wait and see. Time will tell. Please hand assignment by email no later than 5 p.m. on June 10th. Joe is very but diligent. That's why he flunked math again. His thesis doesn't make sense to begin with. Its theme is obscure. His essay was concise and to the point. How are you going to deal with this complicated problem? Leave it to me. It's a piece of cake. Nick, I want to look at this over before I turn it in. Sorry, but I have my hand full right now. What was not to meet a deadline? I bet he'll get mad at you. You are someone that leaves nothing to be desired, apart from a table handwriting. You ought to think about whether the premise is valid or not. Above all, scientific terms call for precise definitions. First of all, learn the formula by heart. They calculate the volume, multiply the length by the width by the depth. Tiny cracks were found in the bottom of the barrel. This chapter focuses on concept of geometry. Phil is much more interested in academic subjects than practical skills. Something's gone wrong with this microscope. I need to have it repaired. Let me see it. Maybe I can fix it. While it's an instrument, so for instance, a gauge such as a thermometer or barometer, the minute particles are very visible to the naked eyes. Muscle tissue consists of a vast number of cells. This substance is mostly composed of hydrogen and oxygen. The exact temperature is 22.68 degrees Celsius. Namdak show off her perfect figure. I wish I was thin like her. I envy her. You could go on a diet. I felt Naomi at first sight. 3 months later, I took a chance to propose to her, but she turned me down. I met her by chance. He's gentle and smart. What's more, he's single. His nephew was brought up to be modest and considerate. I introduced Bob to my folks, but they took to him at once. People should be judged not so much how they look, as by who they are. It's not your title that counts, that's for sure, exclaimed Bob. As a ceremonial priest, my own vision will make good in the end. Keep in mind, the youth is not eternal. I can't figure out why on earth everybody feels so much contempt for Bob. I can't help laughing at him because he keeps making stupid mistakes. He'll be the last person learn his lesson. To make matters worse, he's even conscious of annoying us. Since I was in a hurry, I put gloves on my inside out by mistake. David fat and clumsy. When he leaped over the shallow stream, he stumbled and twisted his ankle. I'm scared of heights. You are a coward. There's such passion seldom, if ever, expresses himself in public. Nick convinced me that all superstitions are irrational. I trembled with fear at the thought of an injection. Since Bob is lazy at heart, he frequently neglected his duties. While both at work, Benford was observed in silly soap operas. Bob likes cartoons, but I don't think much of them. As a matter of fact, they are boring. It occurred to me that he was holding something back because he wouldn't look me in the eye. When her patience gave out, she grabbed his collar and swore at him. I must admit, we quarrel every now and then, but generally, we are good terms on each other. Do you mind if I stop by her house? No, not at all. Be my guest. Hold on. I'll be right back. Don't hang up. I can put out for one thing. Dad drops on me to time. While Gemma was standing still, Bob was facing it back and forth along the sidewalk. Let's make up this up. Let's stop taking me for granted. We were through for good this time. I mean it. Come on, don't get so emotional, Lisa. I didn't mean to hurt you. Let's talk it over. You betrayed me. Please forgive me. How can I make it up to you? I'll get even. You should confess your sins rather than conceal them. Keep your word. Otherwise you'll end up losing face. Bob sticks to moral principles and believes that honesty pays off in the long run. Chap, you couldn't help it. I did my best. I know, don't dwell on the past. You can start over. Jane, please do me a favor and give me a ride to Times Square. I wish I could, but I'm tied up right now. As usual, Mike turned up on time. He's very punctual. The other day around the gas in the middle of a busy interstate, a truck had me skidded, turned over, and scattered its load all over the road. He recalls that the collision had been being avoided by sheer luck. In case of an emergency, get in touch with my agent right away. Jane, where we're heading? I think we're lost. We went on the wrong direction. Damn prober. My last report broke down and obstructing the intersection. There are so many fine scratches dents on its surface. It's no use polishing it. Hey, we are stuck in a traffic jam. Chill out, Joe. Let's take a shortcut. We'll get there in time. I've got a flat tire. Can you give me a hand? I'd be glad to. The ambulance went out of control. He came across the landing of a pedestrian. Oh. He contains primitive life once existed on Mars. The crew is busy preparing for the voyage into outer space. They conduct a series of experiments under zero gravity. Many astronomers assume the universe will expand infinitely. The astronauts are greeted with spontaneous applause. Our founder set up with a view to preserving our endangered planet. The massive plant provides local transportation network. The equator divides the globe into the two hemispheres. I think it's cruel to trap animals for fur coats. The organization plays a principal role to wildlife conservation. Many fragile species are on the verge of extinction. The prolonged drought is severe damage to the crops. Tropical rainforests are quickly disappearing on the global scale. In part, it's due to acid rain. It is said that global warming is directly related to carbon dioxide emissions. The destruction of the ozone layer affects the environment. The committee called on the nation to work side by side to curb air pollution. A satellite was launched into orbit to monitor melting glaciers.